She stole her best friend's children, and her reason will shock you. The night it happened, no one saw it coming. Not even Grace. She woke up to an empty house, no laughter, no footsteps, no little hands tugging at her shirt. Her heart knew something was wrong before her mind could catch up. The children's room was bare. Their clothes, bags, and favorite toys, gone. And so was Adana. Her best friend. Her sister in every way that mattered, except blood. They had met 10 years ago, in a dusty hospital corridor, both waiting for news that never seemed to come. Adana's son had been in a bike accident. Grace's youngest daughter had collapsed from a fever. They were two women stretched thin by motherhood and loss. It took one shared prayer, one quiet cry in a waiting room, and they became family. From then on, they were inseparable. Adana was there when Grace's husband died in a car crash. She held her when Grace broke down at the funeral. She cooked, cleaned, and stayed nights. She became Auntie Adana to Grace's 3 children, Ijeoma, 7, Tochi, 5, and baby Eda, just 2. Grace would have trusted her with her life. In fact, she did. The day the children disappeared was ordinary. Grace had left for work early, leaving the kids in Adana's care like she always did. She even joked about owing Adana her firstborn and liver for helping out so much. But when she returned that evening, the house was hollow. She called Adana, switched off. Called her neighbor, no one had seen them leave. Hours passed before panic turned into police reports. No forced entry. No ransom demand. No trace. Just gone. The investigation dragged for weeks. Grace's name trended online. Mother of 3 devastated by disappearance. Speculations bloomed. Some said she sold her kids. Others whispered abuse. But Grace knew better. She knew Adana. Or thought she did. Until she found the letter. It was taped under a drawer, in Adana's looping handwriting. Grace, I'm sorry. I know you hate me for this, but I couldn't let them grow up like we did. In pain. In silence. I love them too much. And I love you too much to watch it happen again. You'll understand, one day. Grace read it 5 times, her hands trembling. What did she mean by like we did? What was she running from? 2 months later, a break in the case came from a border officer in Togo. A woman matching Adana's description had crossed with 3 children, none biologically hers. They had new names. New documents. It took another week before Interpol traced her to a mission-run orphanage compound just outside Lomé. When they brought Adana in, she didn't resist. She only asked one thing. Don't let them see me in handcuffs. In the interview room, Grace could barely look at her. You took my babies, she said, her voice like broken glass. Why, Adana? Why? Adana didn't cry. She looked tired. Hollow. Because I saw the signs, Grace. You didn't. Or maybe you couldn't. Grace stared at her, confused. What signs? Adana leaned forward. Ijeoma's nightmares. The way Tochi flinched when Uncle Henry raised his voice. How Ada stopped speaking around him. Grace went cold. Uncle Henry. Her brother-in-law. The man who'd stepped in after her husband died. The one who helped with the school runs. The one she trusted. No, he wouldn't. He did, Adana whispered. Ijeoma told me. Twice. And I saw the bruises on Tochi's back. Grace clutched her chest. Why didn't you come to me? I tried. But you defended him. You said I was tired, overthinking. That he was family. So, I waited. And then I saw Ada, barely 2, trembling when he walked into the room. She paused, her voice cracking. I couldn't unsee it. I couldn't leave them. Not in that house. Not again. Adana's story was confirmed weeks later after child psychologists interviewed the kids. The truth was horrifying. Uncle Henry had been abusing them for months, quietly, carefully, behind locked doors and forced smiles. And Grace never saw it. She blamed herself. For being blind. For brushing off the signs. For trusting blood over friendship. Adana was charged, but she wasn't jailed. The court ruled in her favor under exceptional circumstances. Her abduction was reclassified as protective custody. She lost legal rights, but not their love. The children begged to see her. Even Ada, who had barely spoken before, now whispered Auntie Anna in her sleep. 3 years later, Grace and Adana sit on a park bench, watching the children play. It took time, therapy, healing, rebuilding. Grace still carries guilt like a second skin. But she no longer carries anger. You saved them, she says quietly. Adana shakes her head. I didn't save them. I just did what someone should have done for me. That was the part Grace never knew. Adana had once lived in a house where silence was a matter of survival. Where a trusted uncle had stolen her childhood, and no one believed her. She vowed, long ago, that if she ever saw it happening again, she wouldn't stay silent. And she didn't. In the end, betrayal doesn't always look like a knife in the back. Sometimes, it seems like love that refuses to wait for permission. Adana betrayed Grace's trust. But she saved her children. And Grace will spend the rest of her life thanking her for it.